Well, now Amazing Digital Circus has concluded, and I believe there is a lot of pilots that are being greenlit by Glitch Productions right now, and I figured what better way to cover my thoughts on all of them than to do a good old ranking video. I'm sure all 46 of you who subscribed to me in my early days missed those so much, and don't worry, we're back at it with the pilots now. And so I'm going to be going over briefly like what I think after an initial watch of all of them. I won't be going super in depth on these in this video. I'll try to, but if you guys want me to explore them and their topics and like analyze them further, please do let me know. Maybe I'll go back on my own terms and like see which ones I'm talking about. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just gonna be going from the one I like the least to the one I like the most, and let's just get right into it. I won't waste your time. At number 5, we have the Gaslight District. And now this one, I have to say, has a very repulsive art style, and I mean that in the most complimentary way because it's clear what the art direction is going for. The idea is that our main character is the last human in a world full of zombie monster people made impure by something that they do to immortalize themselves. Humans are marked by black blood and zombies are purple. And also the immortalization thing, I don't believe they explain that in the pilot yet. That's a mystery for the show. So I appreciate that there's that question there, that wonder until it comes out. Melancholy Hill is our human girl, very subtle Gorillaz reference, very Iraqi and she wants to be able to capture an angel egg so that people will stop suspecting that she's human. Ken is her father, and he's extremely protective of her, as horrible things will happen if she's outed. I know the feeling. They have a whole chaotic journey getting it, and the angel mother gives some speech I didn't care too much for. I really dislike the in-your-face humor of the show. Of course, this could just be trying to hook people in, I guess. A lot of the pilots, like even Amazing Digital Circus's humor in its pilot was kind of very like loud in your face, fast-paced, so I can't knock it too many points for that. That's just the energy that they have to have before they can actually like lock in, right? And we end the pilot with the egg hatching, and now everyone turns on them, and Melancholy in her timid little voice asks what they're and I think it could be better next episode. I'll say personally the hook didn't get me very much. Sometimes I like the visuals, it does its job of being gross very well, like I said. I think Mud was maybe my favorite character. I like that type of voice. I think it's very silly. And I'm assuming that he's Melancholy's brother or stepbrother. I think they're all a family. I'm not too sure. The world is set up alright. I don't really quite get it yet, but I imagine that's intentional. Like, we'll understand more of what the people are later, and if they were once human, if they were born like this, and how someone ends up like Breadhead. I didn't feel very much coming away from it though. As is now, I'm not super interested in like what the show has to say. The execution, like, it was fine. Not really my thing, I guess. I do like the idea of there being one human left in the world, though. That's always something fun to explore. But I guess my question right now is, like, what would the point of getting the egg be? Like, if we get people to stop suspecting her, but, like, if they see her bleed, they're still gonna know that she's human, unless they wait to, like, dye her blood or something. I don't know. I guess that's my thing, is I can't really imagine where this plot would go after the egg. I don't know what their average life is like, what their goal is moving towards. Of course, maybe in the show that'll be more clear. So right now, just not super interested. Number 4, we have GUINEVERE, and I really do like the art style of this. I think the way that the shape language is in the line art, I really love that. I do need to complain about the female character designs, and I know this is something that everyone talks about, but like the two main women have the same body type, and all the women in Kit's world at the beginning have the same body too. And they're very clearly drawn to be like sexually appealing. It's annoying. I guess Dusk exists. He's like a sexy vampire guy, but he's like hardly in it. I'm not really sure what his role is. I think he's like recruiting them. Not 1000%. Like all the men in the show get to look like diverse. They get to look like their animal or whatever object they are. And this is an issue I have with shows and games in general when it comes to character design, which I'll dedicate its own video to if you guys are interested in hearing that. Anyways, the premise of this is that the game characters need to protect different worlds from destruction, and if a main character beats the quest, then the game gets deleted and they end up having to join this place, or they end up having to join this team, or getting, like, obliterated with their plan. Kitten Gobbles' goal is to stop the main character and to help the villain. And Misinformation and Fold's goal is to get the main character to beat the game so that their boss can harvest the world's energy, I think. Something like that. The big bad guy wants to bring all the worlds back, I think. The characters seem to have an enjoyable enough dynamic. I really enjoy Fold and Misinformation's little rivalry, even if, again, I wish that she got to have a weird design like him. Like, her name's Misinformation. She could be, like, a paper clip, or sorry, a clipboard or something. She could be, like, there's so many options. She could be like a file, but no, she is just sexy blonde woman, I guess. The premise itself is interesting. I only hope they diversify the girls' design. The humor isn't bad at all. I found it amusing enough. It got like a couple chuckles out of me, or like a smile. No like laughs, but just sort of like a exhale through the nose. I thought Crab Girl was silly, even though I wish that more of the females looked weird like she does, and I don't like that the only diverse girl in that show is one that they portray to be gross and throwing up. I look forward to seeing, like, who else joins the crew, what other game worlds there are. I think they could have picked something better than a beach world for their pilot, because this, like, starting off in a beach episode, that's immediate fan service. That's immediately telling us where, like, a lot of your core values, I guess. And that's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. Like, now that they've started with the fan service, it tells me that the other episodes are going to possibly be like this, where the girls are gonna have to wear, like, outfits that are revealing. And when she was flipping through her outfits, you could see a lot of them were kind of revealing. And I mean, what exactly is the evil guy intending to do? Like, why is he destroying the worlds or harvesting? Like, he says, bring back what we've lost. I'm assuming that he's gonna be, like, a twist good guy, because, like, he looks scary, but, like, his goal is actually to help everyone who's been obliterated and bring them back. Then, like, Kit and her group are trying to prevent anything from happening and just keep everything stagnant. I don't know, that's what my guess is. I really want to know what Sephiroth, Alucard, I mean Dusk, like, what his role is gonna be, what kind of character he is. And, no, again, I don't mind the pacing. It was a bit fast at times, or, like, randomly slowed down, but, you know, it's a pilot. It's hard to pace those properly because you have to get your whole idea across in a short amount of time, and you have to get people hooked. So, I don't think it's terrible. But like I said, the premise has to be fixed. Or, sorry, the premise is good, it's just the characters have to be fixed. Now, number 3, I have Murder Drones. A show that got ended after one season, and I'm not sure why it got cancelled, but that's not my focus for today. Now, I guess my main complaint is I really hate that the way the dialogue is written. I like the ideas conveyed and what they're saying to each other in concept. I just do not like how they talk. It's it's similar to my complaint with Has-Been. Like, I like the ideas of it, I just really hate the way that they talk with each other and act. It reeks of being written on the internet for online. I also really dislike N's character trope. The, like, simp pushover boy who's super awkward. I never find it enjoyable. It's the same as Nifty's thing. I'll say, like, simping for, like, the bad boy, but now it's the girls, and it kind of becomes, like, annoying. So now it's like, is he really a character, or is he just gonna be, like, going crazy over the girls, and is he just there to make the girls look more attractive? Because, like, oh, look, this guy thinks she's really hot, so now you anyway, I love the concept of the show, like, the drones that were created to tear apart old workers that humans feared would go rogue and kill them. I think the Murder Drones designs are, like, really good. I love their syringe tails. I think that's really clever, and I love all the, like, sharp edges in their designs that just scream danger. I think they do that very well. Like the pilot, I really like Uzi's character. I think they made her likable. She, like, her teenage awkward dialogue, it works for me because like her character feels well-rounded. The evil murder drone girls, I think they're good. Like, they're mean, they get their character across. I don't like N. He doesn't have to be like mean like them, he doesn't have to be a hardened veteran or anything. I just really hate the trope that they wore. And like her father hesitating to shoot him. I'll admit I've seen the episode after this too. I really like the way they explore her father's like inability to do anything, and like I don't know, I just think it's I don't know how to word it, but like having him hesitate to save his family because he's so into just following the rule. He doesn't want to step out of line or go against his program. I could definitely word this better, but there's something like really interesting they explore with his character. Now, number 2, I have Knights of Guinevere. I think it has an absolutely gorgeous art style, and this one is going very clearly for like a commentary on Disney and with like upper class versus the working class. The world is really interesting looking too. Having the rich float in an island above all the poor people and toss their trash aside. I think that looks cool. Like and Guinevere herself is a really injury to me. I just watched a whole video on like analyzing her character design before recording this, and I think it is beautiful how much thought they put into that. And there's a really interesting mystery to her character too. Like the way she's made of blood and how she feels pain. Like I want to understand that, and then it seems like all the Guineveres are connected, if I'm not mistaken. The characters are all really well designed too, like not just her. They're very distinct, memorable, full of details that communicate so much about who they are. Again, I hope I put it on screen, I hope I remember to. There's a really good video that analyzed like the principles of the designs in this show. And I couldn't word it better than they did, so I'm a tad lost on why the little girl is so elderly and disheveled in the flash forward. Maybe I just didn't catch the reason why. Maybe this is just like a time skip, or maybe there's some sort of commentary there about like when she was young, like maybe she experienced something that like made her look older, or maybe she's sacrificing parts of herself to like preserve Gwen, and that's her body and look older and worse than it like is. Like maybe she's like 17 or something, but she looked like an old rotten corpse giving up part to preserve Guinevere. I appreciate the commercials throughout the pilot too, and how they build context to Guinevere's existence, and we see that she was a common children's toy. Again, the Walt Disney parallels. And I believe the one that we meet with our main character's original, based on the fact that it wasn't recognized as a model. So I'm realizing now, I wrote that in the script, that was like the most obvious thing. But I'm gonna leave that in. And it's Scream 2, which I really want to understand like exactly what, the more I think about it, the more I want to know like about her, and like I specifically want to know what the commentary for why, I have theories, I have interpretations in my mind, but if I ever make a video on Night Go, and we see how brutal she's destroying the robot that's 10 times her size, protect Frankie and Dee, I believe. So she isn't completely, she's a worn down android that needs, she's not a worn down android being treated as fragile. She always sees the main characters as kids too, which again, very interesting. I want to know like what the reason for that programming is. That's like to try to keep her from realizing the horrors of the world, and like her eyes world is perfect and pretty. Overall, really well done world building. Dialogue, I feel like it's pretty natural. I do not think it suffers online indie show talk that most pilots seem to do. Ramshackle. I want to see Frankie repair Gwen, and I want to see what happens later on when everyone finds out the truth, what's going on with the Guinevere. Yeah, I think it's the best one. Sadly, it seems to be the least popular of the pilots, but best concept behind it. And number 1, Amazing Digital Circus. Okay, I know the show's concluded already, but I mean, it's the best they ever made, undeniable. It has perfectly simple character designs that were memorable, and everyone felt unique in their archetypes. Like, they had their own archetypes, but you could feel that they were going to be wonderfully expanded upon. And when I first saw this, I was a bit bothered by the pacing, but that was back when I didn't fully understand that, like, pilots always just have to be like that. They really have to sell you on the concept of an entire show in 30 minutes. And as far as we knew back then, they were real people trapped in this digital world, and there was a potential that they would find an exit. And there was pretty intense stakes set up. Like, if you didn't last here, if you ever lost your mind and you just like couldn't keep it together, you turned into this terrifying multi-eyed monster that could like destroy the rest of your friends. The humor wasn't my favorite, and to be honest, the humor of most of the show wasn't like exactly in my taste, but that is like some things got me. But that was never the main draw of the show to me. It was always the characters, the animation improvement, and like seeing the themes that Goose wanted to explore with her project. She put so much love into this, and this silly little pilot. And I don't know, I think, again, Goose, when she first made that show, she set out to do like an art project to explore what she could do with the animation and like what visuals she could get. She wanted to be able to show off like her music, I believe, for her like it was mostly an art project. And I feel bad, again, blew out of proportion, and so many people expected so much more from it, and I think a lot of fans did not know that it wasn't meant to be like something super in-depth. I still think that it ended up being more in-depth than it was set out to be, but it was never going for that originally, and a lot of plans changed throughout it. And I don't know, if Goose wants to make a show that like is her magnum opus after this, like, she has room for that. I don't think Amazing Digital Circus is the best that she can do in writing. I have faith in her that she can do even better, which is saying a lot because I do think the writing in Amazing Digital Circus was still, and I guess there's also Lackadaisy. I didn't really rank that anywhere because, when I saw that pilot, I wasn't super interested in it. I thought the cat, I guess I'll still check out that show when it does release, because, furry media, why not? But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the glitch pilots. I think Knights of Guinevere has the most potential for a show, but, based on views, it's looking like Game Over is probably gonna be next, or, Gaslight District. One of the two, anyways, thank you so much for listening. Join the Discord if you want. In my question of the day, which of the pilots is your favorite? Which one do you want to see become a full show? And also, channel memberships are open. Shout out to Sammy Lawrence, Maxton, Esma, and Alex Goodbear. Thank you so much for the support. Again, I don't know what order my videos are gonna come out in, so I apologize if, like, in some of them, like, I didn't have someone's name get shouted out, and then, like, something before that, I shout you out in the next one. I'm very sorry for that. I have a weird, scheduling, editing, all that. So, yeah, awkward. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe, hype if you want, and, you know, let me know what you want me to review or talk about, and, I'll see you in the next video.